Let's take the same company, the same position, but in a different country. Here's a McDonald's in Denmark. The average McDonald's worker in Denmark, for doing the same low-skill job, makes $22 per hour. Well, hold on, you...
Fry me now! Bro, I'm done! What? What up, YouTube? Your boy G-Boss here, back with another reaction video for Foreign Reacts. This one's going to actually be a comparison, and the title of the video is America Compared. Why other countries treat their people so much better. Right, so I guess they're gonna get into all this tax and all this free healthcare and all that kind of stuff, but let me just get this out of the way, what I personally think. And I think that the European countries wants everyone to be happy and to be comfortable, and they don't really care about wealth like that, right? They want everybody to be happy. So America is not necessarily that. America is more of a place where you work hard and you succeed. You don't work hard, you make mistakes, you fail. That's pretty much America is. So yeah, you got to just be smart about it, right? And that's the reason why a lot of rich people can come out of America, because America is not the same as European countries, meaning that if you work hard enough and you do what's right, you're going to make it. But if you don't, you won't. But unlike the other European countries, you don't have to work as hard. And I think it's practically easier there if you're gonna just live a normal life, right? But it's harder to live a normal life in America, if I must say that. But we're gonna see what this video is about. So leave a like in the video and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that, guys. And let's get right into this video. And much love to all the other maybe European countries or whatever country is gonna be watching this video. Enjoy, and let's get right into it, guys.
This episode and others like it are made possible by the generous support of my patrons on Patreon. If you'd like to help me make more content like this, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/secondthought. I'm going to say something that will probably offend many of my viewers. Let me preface this by saying that I, as an American, include myself in the following statement. Americans are quite possibly the most willfully ignorant people on the face of the planet. We have access to the sum total of all human knowledge, yet our understanding of the world rarely extends beyond our own country.
That's right.
Even then, the majority of Americans...
That's why we got this channel, Foreign Reacts. I gotta learn, bro. I gotta learn. I wanna learn.
believe in a vision of the country that does not actually exist. It's not that we're stupid, we just tend to blindly accept that the US is the greatest place on Earth, and therefore don't see any reason to educate ourselves about the realities of the rest of the world. In this episode, we're going to pull back the curtain on how America actually compares to other countries, and consider why the richest country on Earth fails to treat its people with dignity and fairness. I'm going to provide a list of important topics, then for each item we'll compare the American experience with that of citizens from other nations. Hopefully by providing a side-by-side comparison, you'll be able to see the stark contrast between how most Americans see their country and how it really stacks up against the competition. To give you an idea of just how skewed the American perception of our country really is, let's start with a pretty shocking example. Compensation for what are considered low-skilled jobs. We'll take the quintessential American company, McDonald's. McDonald's is the world's largest restaurant chain by revenue. It operates in over 100 countries and serves over 69 million customers every day. As of 2018, McDonald's was the second largest private employer.
Hey, I love me some McDonald's, man. They good. I love it. I love it. Never had it outside of America, but I hope it's the same.
With 1.7 million employees, behind Walmart's 2.3 million. How many times have you heard someone refer to McDonald's jobs or workers in a derogatory manner? For some reason, people who work at McDonald's are seen as inferior or lazy or have any number of other unfair and unkind assessments leveled at them. This probably stems from the old notion.
And they get mocked about the amount of money they make. You know, they make a minimum wage type stuff. I don't know if they're making minimum wage. I don't know. I don't know anybody who works there. But they get mocked about stuff like that because they're not getting $16 an hour and stuff like that. You know, so yeah, crazy, bro. That he's talking facts actually, because America does do that.
Of flipping burgers being a job anyone can perform. But the animosity towards low-wage workers has grown significantly in the past few decades. And in America, McDonald's workers really do suffer a low wage. As of 2020, the average crew member at McDonald's makes $9 per hour. The average McDonald's cashier makes $8 per hour. The federal minimum wage in the United States is $7.
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my god, bro, that made me want to cry, bro. Like, dang, bro, Bro, that's minimum for real. Woo! Yeah, that's what I'm telling you about America, bro. And do you think this can do anything? Because think about this. You're talking about let's go with the highest. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just put it right to $10 so I can do some easy calculation. We talking about $10 for the day. We talking about $80 for the day, right? $10 per hour, $80 for the day, right? We talking about an 8-hour shift, right? So we talking about eight, right? And the possibility you're working at a fast food chain, you're not gonna work every single day of the week because there are so many people that are employed. They're not gonna give you a shift every day, right? So we talking about maybe 5 days for the week, right? So we talking about 10, 85. That's probably, how much money is that? I don't even have a calculator, but let's estimate that to be $300, right? And let's say we do something like that, right? How much money? Matter of fact, $400. Let's put it to 400 because I'm kind of messed up right now. I'm kind of too shocked to be calculating straight, right? We got $400 for the week, right? Multiply that by 4, you already know, blah, 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 1,600, right? For the month. So we're looking at 1,600 and the average rent that you'd probably pay in America is, for a good house, is like $800, right? Paying for your car insurance and stuff and such and such and such and such. And you do the practical math, bro. Like, you cannot live. Oh my gosh, bro. I don't even want to get into it, bro. Like, y'all can do the calculations for yourself. But that is horrible. $8. $8, bro. Wow.
$25, a rate which has not been raised in over a decade and which should not be considered a reasonable wage for any position, considering the fact that a full-time minimum wage worker cannot afford to rent a 2-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States and can't afford a 1-bedroom apartment in over 95% of US counties. Now, the all too common response to data like this is something like, well, yeah, it's not a hard job, you should just find a better one. Here's a simple question. Should any job, regardless of technical skill required, pay workers so little that they cannot afford to rent even the smallest place to live? Not to mention other necessities like utilities, food, and medicine. Absolutely not. That is inhumane and cruel, especially coming from the second largest employer in the richest country on the planet. Other notable objections include, McDonald's has to make a profit. If they pay their workers more, they might go out of business. First of all, if you can't pay your workers a fair wage, your company should not be in business. End of story. But again, McDonald's is not struggling to make ends.
But hold on. Let me not. You know what? I'm a businessman. I love me some business. I love me some accounting. I love all these stuff. But let me just get real with you. McDonald's can totally, Walmart, they can totally pay their workers a lot more money. How do I know that? Apple was the only $1 trillion company. I think Tesla is now a $1 trillion company, right? If your company values $1 trillion, you're telling me you can't pay your workers more money? They can. They just don't want to, right? And that's the whole point. When you look at Walmart is really expensive, right? When you do a little like some type of financial stuff, like when they pay out the money afterwards, like let's say they make like 500 billion, right, for the year, they're probably like paying out a lot of money, right? But even if they're paying out a lot of money, their profit is still like 150 billion. 150 billion. I don't know for McDonald's how much they're making a year, but I know it's a lot of billions, right? And the thing is, when they give up all the money that they're supposed to give out, pay everybody and everything, they're probably ending the year with maybe 100 billion. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think McDonald's is probably going home with 100 billion for the year after paying out bills and everything, right? And that's a lot of money, right? So they can definitely pay them better. And like I said at the beginning of the video, the thing is, for America, it's a place where you can get rich. It's not a place where you can survive if you make mistakes. It's not a place where it just gets hand-me-down. A lot of people probably think America is a hand-me-down place. It's not. It's really a strive hard or you won't make it. Once you make it, you're good for life. That's how it really is. But it's crazy though.
Meat. In 2019, McDonald's raked in $21 billion in revenue. But no matter how
21.
obvious the exploitation of low-wage workers, Americans are hell-bent on praising the very companies doing the exploiting. Take this article on Reader's Digest, for example. It's titled, "This is what McDonald's workers really get paid." You see that and think, oh, nice, finally some news showing how poorly these workers are compensated. Then you scroll down and nope, they're actually praising McDonald's, saying things like, the food chain is also great for paying their workers fairly, and McDonald's is one of the highest paying fast food chains in the United States.
What?
This level of sycophancy is insane.
Oh,
if $8 or $9
I had no ideas that McDonald's was actually one of the highest paying. Oh my gosh, bro, that's disgusting, bro. Bro, you're gonna, oh my gosh, bro, I had no idea, bro. That's so mean and horrible, bro. Like, the only type of people that can survive working at McDonald's for about a 3, 4, 5 years are the ones that are cold-hearted grinders. They don't care about nothing. They just do what they have to do and they survive. Those are the only people that can actually make it out of Walmart, bro. Because the truth is, you have a child, you're stuck in Walmart forever, right? And some of us, like, I mean, the average person who pulls up at a drive-through road, we just treat them like scum, like we just treat them like trash, bro. And that's the thing. Americans are not some nice. Oh, we're gonna just be nice. Americans can be very mean, right? And that's the thing that a lot of people don't want to admit. Like I've been mean. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been mean to a lot of people. I'm not gonna say I go to a drive-thru and I'm being mean to nobody. I don't be mean for no reason at all. But you have a lot of people who are mean for no reason at all, right? And I'm shocked, bro. I'm shocked, bro. I had no idea this was this bad.
Hour is some of the highest pay in the industry. That doesn't indicate that McDonald's is paying fairly. It indicates that a massive chunk of the population is being paid poverty wages.
Exactly.
This is where taking an international perspective is so critical. If all you see is feel-good stories about how well McDonald's workers are paid, you'll never know how badly American workers are actually being treated. Let's take the same company, the same position, but in a different country. Here's a McDonald's in Denmark. The average McDonald's worker in Denmark, for doing the same low-skill job, makes $22 per hour. Well, hold on, you...
Fry me now! Bro, I'm done! What? Bro, I'm losing my mind right now, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way you... How you gonna pay somebody $22, bro, and you're gonna pay somebody... Bro, this video is really exposing everything, bro. I actually feel depressed watching this video, bro. I'm actually, like, I'm in my feels right now. Like, I'm so deep in my feelings watching this video. Bro, this is not cool, bro. $22 compared to $8, bro? $8, $9, $7.25, bro? No, bro. No, just, this is disgusting. This is embarrassing, bro. Like, but this is not America itself. This is McDonald's, because this is McDonald's in Denmark. And if you're in Denmark and you're going to pay somebody 22, bro, 22 is a lot of money. $22 is a lot of money. Compared to, that's not even half, bro. Bro, this is not cool, bro. This is not cool.
Hear Reader's Digest scream from across the Atlantic. McDonald's workers in America get paid vacation days after just a year of work. Wow, enticing. In Denmark, when you're hired at McDonald's, not only are you making nearly 3 times what you would make in an American Mickey D's, you also instantly have access to a full year of paid family leave and a pension. No slaving away for a year to prove your value to the company. You're hired and you're treated fairly. Simple as that. McDonald's can afford to compensate all their workers like this, but they won't, because US laws allow them to exploit American workers to the point where they're basically slaves, earning the bare minimum to survive, paying all of their income and often going into debt just to pay rent, and having no way to escape this vicious cycle because they're working such long hours.
You have no way to escape. You have no way to escape this, bro. There's none, period. Bro, do you think it's easy to get up in the morning? Let's say you have a 7 o'clock shift, bro. You have a 7 o'clock shift and you come off maybe like 3 o'clock or somewhere there. I don't do the math right now, right? And you come off at 3 o'clock, bro. Tell me, do you really think you can have a life out of that? You're not getting money. You're not getting enough money. You're going to get home. You're tired. You're on your feet. You're in the heat. Bro, this ain't right, bro. This is not right. This is not right. Bro, this is not right. I had no idea this was like this. Like, I already knew business-wise, it's tragedy. It's better for you to make it. It's easier for you to make it in America in terms of a business, and you'll forever be successful, right? As long as you're not doing dumb stuff, right? But I had no idea the comparison was this horrible. $22 compared to $8, $9, and $7.25. And then when you do the other comparisons of having privileges at the job, that's not cool, bro. That's not cool. I had no idea. And I can promise you, everybody who's working at McDonald's doesn't know this, bro. This is crazy.
This is the case across all of America's low-wage jobs, of which there are many. The plight of the low-wage worker is incredibly dire, and all you have to do to understand that is look at how those same workers are treated in other wealthy countries. Let's move on to another topic, work-life balance. Fair wages are definitely part of this equation. If you're paid fairly, you don't need to work a second job, which will free up your time to be spent elsewhere. But we're going to focus on other metrics, specifically the length of the work week, vacation time, and parental leave. Let's start with the US. Most Americans would say that 40 hours per week is full-time. That seems to be the general consensus. But, in keeping with the country's exploitative labor practices, the hilariously named Fair Labor Standards Act does not actually define what qualifies as full-time. That's left up to the employer. Okay, why does this matter? Well, think of your past part-time jobs. Did you get any benefits? Healthcare, 401k? Probably not. Most benefits, when they're offered at all, are reserved for full-time employees. Companies don't want to provide benefits because they affect their bottom line. America is all about cutting costs, and providing workers with fair compensation is a cost. So, imagine you apply for a full-time job at Best Buy. You're offered the job, but they tell you they only have part-time positions, but they can give you almost full-time. They make it sound like they're doing you a favor, offering you more hours than normal part-time. But this is just another example of employers exploiting their workers. If you work 37 hours per week, you're essentially a full-time employee, but they don't have to provide you any sort of benefits. No healthcare, no vacation, nothing. This is a common practice. Companies will hire people, but keep them just below the threshold for full-time to avoid providing fair compensation. I've seen it happen. I used to
Remember when I was talking in the beginning of the video and I was saying that you have a lot of people working at the same McDonald's, so you probably work 5 days for the entire week and you cannot go over that? That's exactly what I'm talking about, because most of these people, they are not going to allow you to work a lot. Why? Because if you work a lot, that's more money and they're going to have to give you the benefits. It's all business strategy, bro. Like, it's sick.
At Best Buy, and they would do it all the time. And that's just the companies who are still trying to appear generous. Others will simply not offer benefits at all, or set their full-time positions at 50 or 60 hours per week. Sales positions are notorious for this. They'll often say, well, we expect you to work 40 hours, but all the top sellers are working 60 to 70 hours per week. This is coercion. They're trying to pressure you into working more hours to benefit them, and the compensation is never what they claim it will be. By allowing employers to define full-time work, American workers are held captive by corporations, forced to either work absurd hours to qualify for full-time benefits or find a second job to help cover the cost of things like health insurance. Both of these options lead to a terrible work-life balance, and as real wages have decreased and benefits have been offered less and less over the years, huge numbers of American workers have developed an unhealthy work-life balance. For example, in 1960, when workers had real bargaining power, only 20% of American women worked. Today, 70% of children live in households where both parents are working full-time. Where does all this lead? As of 2020, over 85% of American men and 66% of women work more than 40 hours per week. We work 137 more hours per year than Japanese workers, 260 more than the British, and 499 more hours per year than the French. Why do other countries have such a better balance? Because many of them have laws that cap the length of the full-time work week. Companies are required to pay their workers fairly and allow enough time off for employees to maintain a healthy work-life balance. That's not the case in the US. Vacation time is a similar story. Whereas many other countries mandate that employers provide paid vacation and sick days, the US does not. In every industrialized nation, workers get more paid vacation days and holidays than in the US. Here's a depressing graph to illustrate just how poorly we treat our workers. France 31, Spain 34, Austria 38, America 0. 0 paid vacation days, 0 paid holidays. And remember, these are the mandated figures. Every Austrian worker gets a minimum of 38 paid days off per year. Even in the worst possible employment situation, they'd still get 38 paid days off. In the US, many workers are lucky to get Christmas or Thanksgiving off at all, and the odds that it's a paid holiday? Next to 0.
I'm preparing something to share with the world.
Let's move on to our final comparison, paid parental leave. Many Americans aren't even aware this is a thing, so let me explain. When an employee of a company has a child, sometimes they're offered parental leave, a period of time where they can stay home from work to bond with and take care of their new baby. This greatly benefits the employee, the child, and, in the long run, the company, because the employee will be happier, less stressed, and more loyal to the company. Of course, offering paid parental leave doesn't benefit corporations in the short term. And if there's one thing that encapsulates the American business philosophy, it's short-term gains over all else. So it won't surprise you to learn that the US is the only industrialized nation on the planet that does not mandate some amount of paid parental leave. This may be shocking to my American viewers because being able to get paid to spend time with your newborn child sounds like an impossible dream in our dystopian labor market. And honestly, it probably is impossible in our current America. We're so invested in self-destructive capitalism that even suggesting the possibility of paid parental leave would put US politicians out of a job. That's not the case in the rest of the industrialized world. In fact, every other OECD nation, and even in many third world countries, new parents are guaranteed at least several weeks of leave. Let's take a look at a few of them. Ethiopia, a country with an annual gross national income of under $900 per person, offers 90 days of leave with 100% pay. Madagascar, 14 weeks at 100%. Afghanistan, 90 days. Denmark, 52 weeks. Norway, 56 weeks. France, 16 weeks at 100% pay for your first child, up to 26 weeks for your third, on top of 104 unpaid weeks. Lithuania, 52 weeks at 100%, plus an additional 52 weeks at 80%. Again, the United States does not mandate a single day of paid parental leave even for the mother, and the father is never considered. This means that workers in America have to choose to either pay the exorbitant cost of childcare.
Crazy. I did a reaction video about why Finland and Denmark is so happy, or the happiest country in the world, and I actually covered that, and I learned about this. I had no idea it existed, right? And bro, this video is depressing, but it's actually real life. And for the ones out there who are working at minimum wage, bro, that's just crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Or have one parent quit their job in order to take care of the child. These are both bad options, which often lead to economic precarity. But that doesn't matter to the companies employing American workers. Profit is the only thing that matters. Hopefully, seeing these labor practices compared like this has made it clear that not only is the US not living up to its claim to being the greatest nation on Earth, but also that it consistently ranks poorly and often dead last in terms of labor metrics. Why is it that the wealthiest, most powerful nation on Earth can't pay their workers a fair wage, or provide healthcare, vacation time, or paid parental leave?
It's literally simple. America is a country of money who wants to be powerful. The country wants to be powerful, and that's the reason why the laws go as you see them go. And these business people, they need to be billionaires. That's the reason why when you check the top 10 billionaires, Mr. Tesla came to America. Where did he come? America. He came to America. And that's the reason why you see he's now richest, right? America is the place where you can become rich. And that's the thing. If you're a person who care about wealth, America is who you're gonna love to be in America. It's really wild and it's really crazy, but a lot of people are living in denial. They don't understand these type of stuff, right? But this video is really beautiful.
You should realize by now that it's not that they can't, it's that they won't.
They don't.
Everything in America is beholden to the almighty dollar. Profit is the only motivator. If an action does not produce a greater profit, it will not be considered. Over the last few decades, Americans have watched as our livelihoods, our quality of life, and our dignity have all been stripped away by those who already make obscene amounts of money. Those in power say we're all in this together, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The ultra-wealthy and the world's largest corporations rely on Americans remaining ignorant. They rely on us accepting the lie that America is the greatest nation on Earth, that it couldn't possibly get any better. All you have to do to shatter that lie is to take a look around the world. Other nations take care of their citizens. Even impoverished nations, or nations that we've bombed into oblivion, take better care of their people than the US does. American workers need to relearn the language of class struggle and work together to break the wheel of the capitalist machine. If we want to claim that the United States is the greatest place on Earth, we need to make it that way.
He got it.
I mentioned at...
He got it. Oh, okay. He's doing some shout out. He had to put that New York, Wall Street and everything right there in the video. He had a Statue of Liberty and everything, right? But either ways, man, all I gotta say is he's right. He's right. If you know anything about America, if you live in America, you don't know anything about America, and you watch this video, you know he's talking the truth. Compared to Denmark, I had no idea, bro. I had no idea it was this sick. I know about it, but I had no idea it was this sick. And I actually got some education in this video because I know about the American side, obviously, but the comparison is what's important, right? And when you do a comparison, it really shows you that, hey, it's worse than you even think it was. But this was very interesting and beautiful, and it won't change. I can tell you that it won't change. So the most we can do is nothing. But either ways, guys, it was good watching this video. Leave a like on the video and subscribe. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.